Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a video for you guys. So a lot of you guys have been asking me what my favorite brushes are for, of course, doing my makeup. And I figured that I will literally just sit down. I didn't pull anything. I have my brushes in front of me. So what I'm gonna do is reach for it as if I am going to be doing my makeup, and I'll let you guys know what my favorites are and why they're my favorites. A disclaimer, I don't know if you guys noticed on my channel, but I don't really change up brushes that much. I get very bored with doing the same type of makeup, and I rarely do the same thing more than once, makeup wise. And I feel like I'm always rotating my makeup. Brushes, on the other hand, is something that I find myself reaching for the same brush all the time, or if I have similar brushes even in different brands, I would choose to go for those same types of brushes than to reach for something completely different. So I would definitely say that I do have a segment of my brush collection that I use quite often, and then I have another part of my brush collection that hardly ever gets any kind of love. So I'm just gonna reach in, I'm gonna show you guys my favorites. Some of these may be dirty because I may have used them before I came on camera to do my makeup today. So if they're dirty, forgive me. Okay, the first brush. Oh, another thing I want to say is that I am not someone that spends a lot of money on brushes. I do have some brushes that I've spent a lot of money on, but I mean, I know people that spend so much more on brushes, so I feel like I'm very modest when it comes to spending a lot of money on brushes. Most of my brushes, I will say, are random brushes that I either had in my kit since the very beginning, and those brushes are nameless. They are scratchy, a lot of them, but I've just gotten so used to them that they work better than a more expensive brush that I'm not very familiar with. One of the other things with me is that I seldom pay attention to what a brush is designed to do. I look at a brush and I don't really look at what it says what it says it's made for. I mainly use it from what I want to use it for, if that makes sense. So this is my first brush, and as you guys could see, it is just like a tiny brush. It probably could be used as a liner brush, but this is the brush that I actually use for my brows. This is what I use in my gel liners, whether I'm using my Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade or my MAC Dip Down Fluid Line gel liner that I use for my brows. This one I think I bought at Crown Brushes, and this one is their C17-0 brush. If you guys are interested and be able to find that brush, I love that brush. Next is for concealer. This is another random brush, and it's dirty because I use it constantly. Every single day when I do my brows, I use this brush. I do have a few that came in the set with this brush, but for some reason, this one is so flat and it's very dense, so it gives me such a beautiful, it's just such a beautiful, precise brush to really carve out the brows. I just love this brush so much, and it came in a brush set, I think from Crown Brushes again, or CC Brushes, one of those random brush vendors when you go to places like IMAX. Next is this brush, and this is a Real Techniques brush. This one is their domed shadow brush. Because of the synthetic bristles in this brush, I absolutely love it for applying paint pots to my lid. Because I have nails, I find it really hard to get into the container of my paint pots, Painterly and Soft Ochre. So I've been using this one, and once again, this is Real Techniques domed shadow brush. It just applies it so smoothly, and I absolutely love it for that. It was designed as an eyeshadow brush, but as I said, I love it for applying cream products to my lids. Okay, so next let's move on to some eye brushes. And for crease brushes, you know what, I don't stray much further away from these brushes. I have them in the Sigma format, and I have them in the MAC ones. I just have them, actually I'll mention this one as well because I use that quite a bit. So the first brush I'm gonna mention is the infamous MAC 224 brush. This is the brush that I usually go in with my transition shade, or if I wanna apply a color to my lid, which I usually do all the time, I usually go in with a bone colored eyeshadow from my crease up to my brow bone because it just helps all the eyeshadows to blend better. The 224 brush is a staple. I use it every single day. And I either reach for the 224 by MAC or the Sigma E40 brush. They are the exact same, the exact same brushes. Sometimes one can be more frayed than the other depending on how often I use both of them. But I find actually the MAC one holds the shape a lot better. So let's move on to a couple brushes that you guys probably see me use every time I do my eyes. The MAC version is the 217 and the Sigma is the E25 brush. This one is the E25, this one is the 217. I have so many of these brushes and it's almost like every time I walk into MAC, I purchase a new 217 because it's just such a handy brush to have. I mean, if you want to go in with this and skip the 224, I mean, you can do that. Just make sure that you clean this brush off first before you try to diffuse that color. Since this is a more dense brush, and as you could see in comparison to this brush, which is more diffused, this is gonna blend and diffuse color a lot better than this one. This one is gonna give you the ability to blend, but you need to have it's blending within a specific area. So usually after I go in with the 224, I usually go in with this one just to give me a concentration of color. And if you guys could see on my in my crease right now, that darker color is actually done with this brush. This is the MAC 221 brush. When I purchased this brush, it was a new addition to their makeup brush lineup. And guys, every time, once again, I do my makeup, I use this brush. I used to like the Sigma E36 brush, which is pretty much a smaller version of the 224 and the E40 brush. But ever since, this one is perfect if you love to do cut creases. It's actually one of my favorite brushes as well. But this one has just been that brush that I use every single time I do my makeup. It has black on it right now because I find that if I want to deepen the crease, like even with the color that I use today, that I use the 217 with, if I want that color to be really, really in that specific area without blowing it out, or if I want to add black to the crease, this is the brush that I turn to. So I'm going to talk about two pencil brushes right now, and you guys have seen me use these brushes on my lower lash line to diffuse color. That's not different, but if I really want to blow out or add color to my inner corner, this is a Bdellium Tools or Bdellium Tools number 780 brush. Brushes like these, I don't really care if they're like of the best quality, even though I have some that are of really good quality, like this one, which is a Makeup Forever 212 brush, which I literally reach for every single time I'm gonna apply color to my lower lash line because it adds it so amazingly, but it blends it at the same time. This is a brush that I need to have at least two more of because I use it so often. This other brush is one of those brushes that I use every single day, like every day, all the time. Every time I do my makeup, this is a brush I use, a random brush. It's called the Dome Blender brush. I absolutely love this to apply color just right under my brow bone. Love to use this to apply like a lighter shade or a shimmery shade depending on what I'm going for that day with this brush. I don't think I use any other brush but this brush for this one, and it's not so much that I don't have any brushes that would do that purpose, it's just that that one does it so well that I don't really reach for any other brush to do that. As far as face, of course, I do have some favorites that I use for foundation. I think that is the part also of my makeup routine that I experiment with a bit more, because to me, foundation is just that breaking point with you know, your makeup look. It can be the thing that either make you look really bad or just really flawless. My favorites are Beauty Blender sponges. This one is the original Beauty Blender sponge, and this one is the Real Techniques blender sponge. I don't remember what they call it. To be honest with you guys, this one works just as well and probably even better than this one. And I'm saying probably because I just don't see a difference for most of the part. I've been finding myself reaching so much more for this one, but when I go back to this one, I see why it's one of my favorites as well. So I use them interchangeably. They're both very good. If you just want to spend a little bit less, you're honestly getting such an amazing value for money with this option. I absolutely love this sponge. I love Kabuki brushes when I'm doing liquid foundation. My favorite two are the Delium Tools 957, which I actually just purchased a couple extras from IMAX because this has just been my ride or die foundation brush for probably about 3 or 4 years now. This one is the e.l.f. powder brush, which is infamous because it applies liquid foundation beautifully. This one is inexpensive. This one, I think it's your run-of-the-mill Kabuki style brush. There's another one here. There's my Sigma Kabuki brush, I would definitely say is one that I reach for very frequently as well. This one is the F80 brush. These are 3 of my favorite brushes that I reach for when I'm doing liquid foundation. As far as applying, you know, powders and stuff like that, I mean, for under eye, definitely the Real Techniques, what is this one called? Set-in brush. It is definitely a set-in brush. This is one that I have, you know, multiples of because it just works so well to pack eyeshadow underneath the eye area. And also from Real Techniques as well is their blush brush, which I actually love to use for all over powder. And I also love to use their multitask brush for all over powder as well. And I also love to use the e.l.f. powder brush for all over powder as well. Once again, I just reach for brushes that I know will get the job done regardless of what they are designed for. Actually, let me mention this brush for under eye powder as well. This one is the e.l.f. blush brush. And this one I absolutely love for under eye powder. Like, as you can see, it does have sort of like that pointed end to it. So it fits so perfectly under the eyes, and you can just, you know, tap your powder under there. So I love this one for doing that as well. For contouring now, I have 2 that are my favorite. I actually have 3, and all 3 are pretty much almost the exact brush. This one is the Delium Tools 945 brush. I'm sure you guys have seen this many times. Sometimes I'll just use this if I want to do like a really quick makeup look and I just have time to do one color, you know, in the backs of my cheekbones. I would use this brush. This one is the Morphe M437 brush. This one I use mostly to contour after I've bronzed, but I also can use it for the same thing that I do with this one if I am in a rush. These are the brushes that I would reach for to just get the backs of my cheeks with either contour or whatever I'm trying to do that day. And then this one is the MAC 109 brush, which absolutely love. I use this brush every single day. I apply my bronzer and then I go in with my contour. For blush, my ride or die is this Unknown brush right here. This is one of those ones that was in my kit from, it has no name on it, like literally no name. This is the brush that I reach for. Like, I literally have to tell myself, use something else. It's just perfect. It diffuses cheek color so well, and I can't really explain to you guys what this brush does to me unless you have that brush that just does a task so well that you don't ever want to reach for something else. However, I've been trying to program myself to use something else, and the one that I've found that is such a different brush, but it does it so well as well, is the Makeup Forever 156 brush. It is flat, it's not fluffy. Like, this is what it looks like. So this is fluffy all around. You know, this is diffusing the color so well. This literally is diffusing it, but it's giving you so much precision to apply that blush that they're so different, but I love them individually for what they do. But I must say, as much as I love this brush, like, this is the brush that it will always be with me. I will never throw it out unless I lose it, but I just love this brush so much for blush. Okay guys, so now let's move on to highlighting. I'll mention the one that I use all the time, which is a Makeup Forever 242 brush. I'm sure you guys have seen me use this one before. I love this brush for highlighting. It's very similar to the MAC 224 brush, but this brush for highlight is just everything. Like, it applies the color like so specifically, but blended at the same time. Like, I don't want my highlight to be all over the place. Like, I want it to be where I want it, but it gives me the flexibility to blend it out as well. I love this brush so much. Like, it's soft, but it's not like crazy soft, but it's just a wonderful thing. This is such a beautiful brush. What else? Is that it? I think that's it. I think that's it. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I know it's probably gonna be a little bit long, but you know what, you guys have been asking for this video, so I really felt like I should do a video on it because I think that it will help a lot of people. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel.